The Donald Trump biopic at Cannes raises eyebrows. At the Cannes Film Festival, a new film on Donald Trump made its world premiere. The film received mainly positive reviews from critics, but the former president threatened to sue the production. The film, titled The Apprentice, tells the tale of Mr. Trump's early years as a driven young real estate entrepreneur in 1970s and 1980s New York. His spokesperson called the movie garbage, pure fiction, and election interference by Hollywood elites, citing a scene in which he is seen raping his first wife, Ivana. A disclaimer stating that many of the events in the film are fictionalized opens the film. It made its premiere while Mr. Trump is preparing for another presidential election in November, and his hush money trial is still ongoing in New York. Part of the title alludes to the TV show that Mr. Trump hosted starting in 2004 and ran for more than 10 years. But the movie is set a few decades earlier, when Mr. Trump is still establishing himself as a real estate developer. The former president is portrayed by Sebastian Stan, who has made appearances in such MCU films, including Winter Soldier, Pam and Tommy, and Dumb Money. The brutal mentor and attorney Roy Cohn is portrayed by the rising sensation Jeremy Strong. The movie paints an unflinching but nuanced portrait of the former US president, according to news agency AFP. The movie, which is rumoured to include rape, erectile dysfunction, baldness and betrayal, opens with a heartfelt portrayal of a brash yet innocent social climber. But, as the film goes on, it shows how Mr. Trump's decency is eroded as he learns the dark arts of deal-making and taste power. The film's director, Danish-Iranian filmmaker Ali Abbasi, envisions a number of horrific incidents occurring behind closed doors. One terrifying image shows Mr. Trump raping Ivana. Ivana claimed that Mr. Trump had raped her during their actual divorce procedures, but she later withdrew that claim. In 2022, she passed away. Prior to the film's release, Abbasi stated in an interview with Vanity Fair that the intention was to do a punk rock version of a historical movie, not get too anal about details and what's right and what's wrong. Following its premiere at Cannes, a festival known for strong audience reactions of this kind, the film was met with an 8-minute standing ovation. What statements has Donald Trump made? Legal action will be taken to address the blatantly false assertions from these pretend filmmakers, according to Stephen Chung, Director of Communications for Trump's campaign. He continued in a statement, "This garbage is pure fiction which sensationalizes lies that have been long debunked. This is election interference by Hollywood elites who know that President Trump will retake the White House and beat their candidate of choice because nothing they have done has worked." Monday's French Film Festival debut of The Apprentice coincided with Mr. Trump's Manhattan trial. He disputes having had any sexual relations with Stormy Daniels and fabricating company documents to hide a payment to her. Not a hit piece. After the film's premiere, critics gave it largely positive reviews. Kevin Maher of The Times gave the film a 4-star rating, saying, "This is the Donald Trump movie that you never knew you needed, full of compassionate feeling yet ruthless in analysis." It was dubbed a smart, sharp and surprising origin story by Pete Hammond of Deadline. He declared, "This is not a hit piece on Trump. It presents a person somewhat driven but awkward, a man striving for the approval of a tough-love father, unsure but determined to succeed, and even oddly charming at times." Robbie Collin of The Telegraph says that although Strong's portrayal is superb, Stan's technique feels overly delicate. Given Trump's total absence of hinterland, the role probably needed a caricaturist touch, Collin writes. Variety's Owen Gleiberman did, however, offer some compliments for the lead actor. He wrote, "Stan's performance is a wonder. He gets Trump's lumbering geek body language, the imposing gait with his hands held stiffly at his sides, and just as much he gets the facial language." Peter Bradshaw of The Guardian, who gave the movie 2 stars and said, The Apprentice worryingly moves us back to the old Donald, the joke that is now beyond unfunny, was less enthusiastic. It seems unimportant and obtuse. Liberals will see it as a stomach-churning making of a monster account, while the MAGA faithful might conceivably misconstrue it as an endorsement of their guy, who has made the killer instinct his brand. The Hollywood Reporter's David Rooney predicted, anticipating the audience's reaction.